In this lesson, I'm going to be showing you how to do weaving on a cup. For that, you'll need a paper or plastic cup, something that you can cut. And for that, the way I'm going to start is by making an odd number of marks around the perimeter, and then going back and cutting those. So 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. You need an odd number though. So do those marks, and then you're going to cut all the way down to the bottom of the cup. Once you've done that, then you're ready to start weaving. The material that you use is up to you, but whatever you use, you want to start off by making a knot in it. The reason we're making a knot is so that we can make sure that it doesn't go through as we're pulling things tight. So then I'm going to put that little knot down one of those slits, and then I'm ready to begin weaving. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that typical under and over pattern. So over one and under the next one. And the reason that you needed to have an odd number is when you get to where you've gone all the way around, that odd number ensures that then you start to fill in the spaces you went under last time. So as long as you do that, then when we go back the second time, we're filling in those extra spaces. Now, I'd mentioned materials that you could use whatever you wanted. What I'm using here, if you're curious, is I'm using plastic bag. So just a piece of plastic bag, like a grocery bag, that I cut into like skinny strips, and I'm just weaving that in. You could also use string like this yarn here. The reason I chose a bag is because it has a little bit more width, so I'll fill it up a little bit faster. I'm almost to the end there, so I'm going to skip ahead to my next material. And what I'm going to use this time is a piece of long newspaper that I've cut, and then I've folded it over to make the flat sides. And then I'm going to connect those two, so I'm going to make an X and pull one under. And I'm just tying these two together so they'll be one solid piece. And then I'll continue my weaving with my new material. And I could trim off that extra if it bothers me, just so it's not as noticeable. But these wide materials like newspaper, plastic bags and stuff are going to fill up your cup weaving a little bit faster than skinny things like yarn. But what you use is dependent on what you might have around and what your own decisions are, what your creativity gives you ideas for, and usually just what you have. Every now and then I'll push this down, try to compact our weaving a little bit. See how I'm getting that kind of checkerboard pattern? That's what we're looking for. And see how even with just this second long strip, I'm already getting close to the top. So I'm going to go ahead and add my next material before I get too close. And this time I'm going to use some braided bag rope that I made earlier, because I think it'll give a cool finish to the top. That's not one that, there we go. So, and the top, there's a trick to finishing it. So let me get to the top and I'll show you how to finish. It's nothing overly hard, but just a neat way of ending it so that it looks neat and not sloppy, so not just leaving it hanging off. So but each time we're just going under one and over the next to make that pattern. And let's see if we can get to the top, and I'll show you how to finish. You could also do this same thing with a box. If you don't have a cup handy, you could use a box. The reason I thought that a cup would be good with this is because this way you can kind of just, once you get the hang of it, you can do kind of like I'm doing here, where you're just kind of rolling that cup over your table as you're working on it. Can't really roll a box that's rectangular or square. Alright, so I'm towards the very end. I might be able to go one more time. Yep, there we go. So now I have this extra piece here, and let me show you what I'm going to do with it. We're going to look on the inside here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little piece, and this flap here from my last row, I'm going to just tuck that under the row before it, and that's going to hold that in place. So just tuck it under the last time you went under this one, and that's going to hold it in place. And then I have my cup. Happy weaving!